just get us in our hearts, and then we'll begin the meditation. Thanks for joining me. Thank you.
Bearing your sword of truth, from head to heart we fall. Ever new, every moment, oh, your grace calls. I am, oh, life eternal. You're my heart and my love, and nothing can remove this joy, this joy,
this joy, this joy.
Oh, this joy,
this joy, this joy.
as I move forward, oh, to find you. You reach out, oh, to receive me. These eyes are held by a greater light. Even though I stumble, I raise no cry, 'cause nothing can remove this joy, this joy,
This joy, this joy.
oh, this joy,
This joy, this joy.
this joy, this joy, oh,
Joy, this joy.
Yeah, sea change came, oh, this one fell silent. The great waves had been rising, oh, in this heart. Yeah, but my worldly loss was the spirit's gain alone. Oh, this feeling high, I used to wish you were made of stone. Yeah, nothing can remove this joy, this joy,
This joy, this joy.
oh, this joy,
This joy, this joy.
yeah, to live and to move in this silence is to live not apart from the Lord, to live and move in the silence is to live not apart from the Lord, and nothing can remove this joy, this joy,
This joy, this joy.
oh, this joy,
This joy, this joy.
this joy,
This joy, this joy.
to live and to move in the silence is to live not apart from the Lord, and nothing
Well, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Welcome, everyone. And I really appreciate the song this morning, Nothing Can Remove This Joy. And we'll see where the meditation goes. I'll do my best to get my ego, my personality out of the way, and just let my core truth come through and speak. And I'm reminded this morning, as I ate in a way that my mind says I shouldn't have. Sometimes there's consequences to that. But what's true is no one can ever remove this joy. Our true self always remains, no matter what experience, no matter how bad you've done something, what crazy mistake you made, you never disappear. You are never diminished. Only an idea or a concept of us can be diminished. So let's meditate and just maybe we'll reflect on this. We'll see where this whole meditation goes. But I'm inspired to dig a little deeper in that area, that to know that grace is upon us in every single moment. Every single moment. So let me just get my blanket over here and get myself comfortable. And if you're not already comfortable, please do so. And just closing your eyes and taking in a nice deep breath. And just really becoming present for this moment here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for just your willingness, your openness to be who you are. And it really does take far more energy to be who we are not. But people don't recognize how much energy it actually takes. But I'm grateful to have you here. I'm grateful for your courage and the wisdom that you've already attained to even be listening to this meditation that I know is not a traditional meditation. And for a lot of people, it's too much, it's too intense. And there has to be a certain willingness on the participants' part, to a willingness to let go of who they are not, a willingness to open their hearts, a willingness to open their minds, to really and truly the infinite possibilities of who we are. And I'm also reminded of one time when I had a clear message from Spirit, from God, that said, when one awakens to the truth of who they are, you can't possibly imagine what good you do in the world. And so when you recognize the truth of who you are and you live from that truth, your world changes immensely in ways that we can't possibly imagine. Why can't we possibly imagine? Because imagination is of the mind, and the mind cannot possibly comprehend the infinite possibilities that lie with us right now in this very moment. And my heart feels open. I'm just really grateful to have you here. And I just pray that you open your hearts and open your minds and just allow in all the love, all the blessings, all the support that is here for you right now in this moment. And that grace is always, always, always with us. It's simply a matter whether we're allowing it in. So I do invite you just to allow it in right now, and that's all that's needed. You don't need to do any energy healing work or use your imagination or enhance this meditation in any way. It's simply making the choice to allow in love, blessings, and support, and grace. So I invite you right now to just let go of all of the past, all of the past. And last night I ate some sweets, and as probably all of you know, I don't want to say I have a sugar addiction, because then I'm catching myself on the labeling me, which is not even the truth of who I am. So what's true is I get to observe, I get to witness my small self, my mind that believes I'm an addict. It has convinced me I'm a sugar addict. And sometimes my small self buys into that truth. And then I beat myself up for saying, why did I do that? And I'm sharing this because I know we all go through different things like that. But that was yesterday. That is of the past, and it's no longer. And that's the beautiful thing about coming back to the present moment. Coming back to the present moment means you leave all of the past behind, all of it. Even the past that was 10 seconds ago, 10 minutes ago, 10 days ago, even 1 second ago. It's the past. Whatever you have done and whatever you will ever do, the truth of who you are will never go away and can never be diminished, because it's you. It's you that doesn't need to be, you don't need to earn a spot back to you. You don't have to do anything to be you. You are you. The only thing that prevents you from recognizing that is simply believing the mind that says no, because there has to be something else that I need to do, or that I need to help save the world. I need to do something spectacular, or I need to climb a mountaintop. I need to find my guru, whatever it is. These are all stories of the mind, and if we believe those stories to be true, they will pull the veil of illusion over our eyes, our spiritual eyes that can truly see. We look to the mind for so many things. And in so many ways, we've made the mind our God, because we look to it for all of our solutions. We look towards it to figure out how to be happy. And if you are truly joy and peace and love, and in your core truth of who you are, that is divine intelligence, that is beyond the mind, if you are all of these things, then what is there to figure out? There's nothing that needs to be figured out. The mind tells us, the ego believes that we need to solve the mystery of why we're not happy. But the irony of that, it's the very trying and to figure things out that keep us from being who we truly are. Because we're caught in the head rather than the heart. We're caught in the head of trying to figure out how to be happy, when the figuring out and the belief that we're not already happy and that something else needs to happen is the very thing that keeps us from recognizing our true self. All of you know that I say a lot of the same things over and over. But each morning when I meditate with you, I do my best to get my ego, my personality out of the way, my mind out of the way, and allow the words, allow the divine words to come through that will somehow spark something within you to help you remember and recognize who you are. And it's really just approaching it from different angles each morning, to just approach it from a different perspective. And I'm sure all of you have had the experience when you listen to like an Eckhart Tolle or Mooji or one of the awakened teachers, Deepak Chopra, that one of them can say the same thing that other teachers have said, only it hits you from a different angle. And that's why it's actually good to explore different teachers in different ways, I feel. But what's also true is when you find your home, whatever that looks like, it's also beautiful to stay on that path that really resonates with you. And my path has been the Ashaya Ascension meditation. I've always gone back to it, no matter how many other studies I've done. And the Ashaya Ascension is rooted in praise, in gratitude, in love, and in compassion. And that's what the meditations are focused on. Unfortunately, I can't share that with you because I'm not a qualified teacher. Actually, I suppose I am a qualified teacher, but I'm not a, let's say, ordained teacher. And that's okay. I'm teaching, doing what I love to do, to teach it from this angle that I have to offer. So, if you haven't completely emptied out all of the past, please do so. Like I said, just coming back to the present moment is an emptiness out of the past. It's not focusing on the past, and it's not worrying about the future. I saw a post on Facebook this morning that was politically based, and quite honestly, it hooked me and I was pissed. I was really angry, and my mind, my ego began to get busy in how I'm going to respond to, quote, I quote, correct their thinking, unquote. Because my ego wanted to prove that they don't know what they're talking about and I do. My opinion is better than yours. And that's all politics is. But here's the beautiful thing, that my ego so badly wanted to respond, and in the past I would have. And then I would have been engaged in this argument of who's right and who is wrong. And there will not be any joy coming from that experience, none. It would have been a battle of the egos of who is right and who is wrong. And truly what the Course in Miracles says is, what do you choose? Do you choose happiness or to be right? And so what I did as I began to just be aware of this anger, be aware of my ego, be aware of my judgments of how I think I'm right, and my mind began to concoct a message of righteousness, self-righteousness, and what I was going to say to help this person remove their ignorance. And as I was watching this unfold, as my true self was witness to all of this. And it's sometimes hard to connect with our witness, connect with that one that is able to just observe all of it without judgment. That's who we are, the one witnessing life without any judgment. It is beyond fears, beyond blame, beyond judgment, certainly beyond guilt and shame as well. And so as I reconnected with my true self, the one witnessing this, I noticed, I was aware of all of my anger, all of my pissed offness. And there was part of me, there was another part of my ego, part of my mind that was saying, I shouldn't be thinking this way. I shouldn't be feeling this way. I need to get out of this. This is not good for me. But what is there to get out of? To get out of the anger, or to get out of the belief, or to get out of the experience? When I am coming from my witness, from myself, my true self, I don't need to get rid of any of it. In fact, I can just simply be present with the anger. Be present with my judgments. I say my judgments, I'm referring to my small self. Just to be aware of it, to be aware of the thoughts, the feelings, the beliefs in all of it, without trying to get rid of it or push it away or make it bad or wrong. Or without trying to correct our thinking. Now, Brett, you shouldn't be thinking that way. That's not kind. That's not loving. That's not compassionate. That's not spiritual. How very unspiritual. How very unloving of you, Brett. But is it, Brett? Is it my true self? Or is it just a belief and a concept that I'm carrying about myself? Is it me believing a thought, buying into the thought that I'm not being compassionate enough, not being loving enough, and that I need to correct my thinking? But what is there to correct if I am not the thought in the first place? If I believe I'm my thought, if I believe I'm my mind, then I probably got some work to do, but it's not going to get me very far, because all I'm trying to do is fix my personality and my ego that is not who I am in the first place. There are many, many, many tools out there. There are many, many, many paths out there. And it's okay that you're working on yourself, and it's okay to do workshops and all that. It's all fine. It's all part of our putting our best foot forward. But what's also true is, if you have the ability to recognize that it's just a thought and that it's not who you are, why waste your time on trying to correct or fix a thought or belief when it's not even you in the first place? And I've used this example, which I've heard other teachers use. It's like cutting off all the branches of the tree when all you need to do is remove the tree from the root. You don't need to fix issue by issue, cut branch off by branch off, when there's going to be, you cut 3 branches off and another 3 or 4 pop up. What does it mean to remove the tree from the root? It means when you can be witness to your thoughts and your beliefs, your mind, your ego, rather than buying into that it's the truth of who you are. And when you recognize that you are not those things, You can have any thought or any belief, and you can, or any feeling, and you can just witness that anger, witness that frustration, witness the one who is saying, I need to fix or change a situation. You can witness needing to correct the political situation or correct the person or to be right. You can witness all of that without blame or judgment, but just simply be a witness to it, an objective witness. And when you can do this, you can experience the freedom of who you are, the peace of who you are, the one who doesn't need to fix or change anything or anyone, including yourself. So I hope you are able to see that when you are witnessing life, that there's nothing to fix or change, and you don't need to spend all your time trying to do so, which only puts you more in your head. But if you can recognize that the mind is being busy, you can recognize the belief that you're identified with as if it's the truth of who you are, then it doesn't matter what thought, what feeling, what belief, there is peace that is available. And when I was in my drama this morning, caught in the drama of my mind and my ego of wanting to be right, I first said, I'm so angry. But again, I ask you, who is it that's angry? Is it actually me, or is it just an idea of who I think I am or who I thought I was in that moment? That I am anger. I am frustration. I am right. They are wrong. These are all stories. These are all stories that we carry in our head, that we have identified with as the truth of who we are. But as soon as we can take a step back and just recognize that thought, that belief, that feeling, you can just allow it to be. Just, in fact, allow it to pass on by. It's just a gentle breeze passing on by. You wouldn't fight the breeze. You wouldn't try to correct its path, or you wouldn't judge it or blame it, because you know that it's not you. And the more you can connect with that truth, that you are not your thoughts, you can do the same thing like the wind. By just allowing, oh, I see, it's the wind. Let me just allow it to pass on by. Oh, I see. That part of me was hooked into thought that I was angry. But that's not my true self. Let me just allow that thought, that belief, that feeling, that self-righteousness. Let me just simply allow it to pass on by, without any blame or judgment or need to fix or correct it or get rid of it in any way. I don't usually say this. In fact, I don't believe I've ever said this in my meditation. I don't know who it is or how many of you meditating right now, but I feel like I say that from an intuitive level, not from an emotional level. I feel like we are all close to breakthroughs. If you're not even experiencing it right now, I don't know. But the breakthrough is, and I know I had one it was slightly tweaking something this morning and yesterday, where I'm like, in my addictive pattern of eating and in my addictive pattern of judging others and trying to correct them and being caught in my mind as if it's who I am. But the more we can just take a step back and witness all of those things, that is returning home. That is returning home. It's returning home to the truth of who we are, that is simply witnessing life without needing to fix or change it. It's witnessing our thoughts, our beliefs, our feelings. That is awakening. That's all awakening is. It's when you become conscious and aware that you are not your thoughts, you are not your beliefs, you are not your feelings, you are not anything outside of your true self. And I say outside of your true self, I will say the external world, which includes, by the way, your body and your physical mind. All of those things outside of yourself, again, including your physical body and your physical mind, all the things outside of yourself, the thoughts, beliefs, feelings, experiences, will all someday fade away. How can that possibly be you? Because if it is you, you certainly are not eternal. How can you be eternal with something that fades away? But I've been saying this lately, science has proven that energy can never ever die. And even if you split an atom, you can never ever get rid of energy. You can never get rid of the aliveness of who you are, the truth of who you are. It is energy. So you are eternal. But those things that will fade away, that will fall away, are not you. They cannot continue on. They all fall away. And so I just invite you to come back to being aware of your breath, which brings you back to the present moment, because you're just witnessing the breath that happens by itself. And you're also the one witnessing the thoughts when your mind starts to get still and a thought comes in. You are the one witnessing the thought. And again, the thought cannot witness you. Your mind does not have the capacity to be aware of anything. All it does is think in terms of logic and understanding and duality of this is good, this is bad. There is no witness to that. That is filled with judgment. You are the one beyond judgment, beyond fear, beyond blame, beyond the guilt and the shame, beyond anything physical. So when you come back to the present moment by observing, witnessing the breath, when you connect with witnessing, then you are connecting with and being your true self. And that's all it is, simply witnessing everything. That is you. But it can be tricky, of course, because the ego is trying to convince us of all these things that we are not, mostly which is not good. So I invite you, if you haven't already done so, just completely empty out all those beliefs, all those stories, all those ideas, all the past, but especially all the ideas and beliefs of who you have thought yourself to be. Because it is those very beliefs that block you from recognizing your true self. And just coming back to being aware of your breath. And you don't need to try to still the mind. There's no trying, there's no effort, there's no doing this required in this meditation. The only thing you're being asked is to simply be aware of all of it. When the thought comes in, just be aware of that without judgment or blame. Just to be aware of it. And as soon as you are aware of it, as soon as you witness the thought or belief or feeling, allow it to simply pass on by and come back to simply being aware of your breath. And if your mind has drifted, just allow the thought to simply effortlessly pass on by. And remember, it's not you, so there's nothing you need to do with it whatsoever. You are not the one thinking those thoughts. That is simply your mind. And as soon as you are aware of the thought, just come back to being aware of your breath and to remain in conscious awareness of your breath throughout this meditation. And then, of course, your mind will most likely drift. And when it does, as soon as you become aware of it, come back to conscious awareness of your breath again. And you will find the conscious awareness that you remain in will continue to grow until you fully realize that you are conscious awareness. And again, just coming back to the present moment, coming back to being aware, consciously aware of your breath. And just coming back to being a witness to your breath, a conscious witness to your breath. You probably hear my puppy in the background, and the mind might have something to say. Maybe it doesn't like that sound, or it does like that sound. Just notice that thought, allow it to pass on by, and come back to being aware of your breath. So I'm going to begin to bring the meditation to completion. For those of you who would like to continue meditating, please either mute or turn your device off. And thank you so much for joining me. And for those of you who are ready to finish, taking in a nice deep breath. Just making sure you're fully rooted and grounded back in your body. And may want to just stretch and move your body around a little bit. And taking your time, and whenever you're ready, opening your eyes. Well, I hope you had a good meditation, or whatever meditation you needed. I feel good, and I'm grateful to have all you join me. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Let's see, Thursday, so yeah, I'll be meditating tomorrow and Saturday morning if you'd like to join me. And you guys have a wonderful day. All right, love you guys. All right, thanks, bye.